Welcome one and all to our famous anime hour, where we have an anime hour sometimes on Sunday. Today, I am going to be the host of this anime hour, and my guest this time is going to be the former host, Finbarr.
Hello, Bianca. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm feeling good now that I'm in the co-driver's seat. I gotta be honest. This is great.
Lies, you're tired. Okay, so hopefully my volume isn't too loud this time. Uh, I know not a lot of people complained about it, but like I'm not even an audio person, and I can hear the difference in the volumes and mics, and I'm like, no, my mic is too good. My mic is too good. I'm also gonna be semi-whispering because my nephew will be sleeping. Woot! Just in case anybody asks.
I am also going to be semi-whispering because it is now 9:10 UK time, and I am going to wake my neighbours up. I don't have to worry about waking the family up because they're all awake. I'm going to be bringing one through shortly. But no, we can speak semi-loud. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'll do my best. If somebody comes into the room and says "shut up," then that's when I know I have to lower the volume.
Don't worry, I'll use my editing skills. I'll cut that out.
Yeah. All right. So today we are going to be talking about "Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken," which I'm so glad I found out that I was saying the pronunciation wrong. And this time, usually instead of like 3 to 5. This is a short series, so we're just doing every 6, just to make it even and have it go faster. Plus some things going on in the background because life is life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you say it? Eizouken.
Eizouken.
Is it not Eizouken?
Eizouken.
It's Eizouken, right? Because that's how they pronounce it in the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's similar to Spanish pronunciation. I-A-E-O-U. A-E-I-O-U. So A, E is the E. It's the same way in Japan. So E is the E. Eizouken.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, you have a second language, don't you?
Semi
Okay.
second language.
I was thinking, why is she talking to me about Spanish? That's because you speak Spanish.
The vowels in Spanish and Japanese are the same. That's why.
Okay. We'll remember that. I won't remember that.
You won't remember that.
No.
So I'm not going to be going like through every single episode mostly because a lot of these are arcs, and where we ended is, I believe, the second episode of an arc. I'm surprised the first arc lasted about 4 episodes because usually it's 3, 6, something like that, unless you're One Piece.
So these are 444.
It might be.
Oh, okay.
We have to find out once we get to the 7th and 8th episode.
Yeah, because I noticed that because there's 12 episodes in total, and it felt like the first arc finished at the end of episode 4, and we do feel like we've not finished this one, the one that we're doing with the Robot Club. That kind of finished halfway. So I thought just doing 6 and 6 was going to be quite a nice, neat, 2-show thing, but it isn't. It feels a bit like we've cut halfway through. So, but we'll manage it. We manage it all the time.
I actually think it might be better because if the arcs are in 4 and there's 12 episodes, then that means there's 3 different type of arcs, and we're on the second arc out of 3.
Yeah.
So I think it all works out.
Never actually thought about it until you mentioned it just now. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's my prediction anyway. So how I described this anime to people was 3 high schoolers wanting to get into anime. And I have not watched this, by the way. That's how I advertised it. From the description, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, it's a little description, summary, whatever. And I haven't read it since a long time ago because this came out 2020. And watching this anime, I am very glad I was very wrong.
So you've read the manga as well?
No.
I
believe the manga came out after.
It came out after?
Yes, I believe it did, because when I first heard about this, I heard it was an original. I didn't hear there was a manga, and then while looking it up for our anime review, I found a manga version, and I was like, when did it have a manga?
Right. Okay. Usually the other way around, but hey, there you go.
I mean, there has been a lot where the manga comes after the anime, so I wouldn't be surprised. Or sometimes it comes out at the same time as the anime. Yep, the anime came out 2020, the same year as the anime.
Oh, the manga and the anime were the same year.
Hmm.
Okay.
So that means the anime was first.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
Nice. Only 3 volumes, so if I had to guess, it's probably um the anime version of the manga, or the manga version of the anime
Yeah.
that they're selling.
Yeah. One or the other.
Yeah. And so we have 3 girls. We have the main girl, which is Asatsuka. I'm really glad I heard that name because I've been hearing that name pronounced wrong since I was little, and I was like, oh, so this is how you pronounce it. Okay, makes sense, because the S's and the A's would confuse me a little bit. We
And
have
also there's a
yeah,
U. There's an extra U in there.
yeah,
So when I read it, I'm reading Asakusa.
yes, that's
That's
what it was. I'm like, wait a minute. And so I went to the Japanese version, and I'm like, no, the Japanese version also pronounces it Asatsuka. And I'm like, okay, I finally can pronounce this name correctly. We have her friend, Kanamori, and then we have the new addition to their friend group, which is, I believe her name is Mizusaki. Yes, I
yeah.
just double checked. So only one of these is actually interested in anime. Only one girl is interested in anime, and that's the main girl, Asatsuka. The best friend, Kanamori, is more like wanting her, kind of like encouraging her to say, hey, you want to do this, so I'll just try my best to help you. But she's also the financial advisor in a way, because she helps them say, hey, you have this amount of money, this amount of time, we got to get this done. No, we can't afford that. No, da 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 da, da da da. You want this? We need about specifically this amount of money, this amount of this. And she is kind of she's pretty mean, but I like her personality. She's very aggressive despite how she looks. I love her design, her teeth design.
Yeah, she does this thing where she's got her teeth. She's showing her teeth while she speaks, so it looks like she's speaking through her teeth, which is funny.
Yes. I love
But
it so much.
she's like taking up the role of producer in the whole thing,
Yes.
and it feels like the other two are doing. They're either doing like one. I think it felt like Asakusa was doing the director role at one point. I remember one episode where she's Kanamori's talking to her and she's telling her like it's your vision. So she's like taking on the director role, and I'm assuming that the other girl, Mizusaki, is taking on the role of writer then in that case, because it feels like they're a trio producing a movie. To me, maybe I'm interpreting it wrong, but definitely the Kanamori's the money girl, so she's the producer. But the other two seem to have just like and I think also Mizusaki's got an interest in anime as well. I think she wanted to do it, and her parents are trying to stop her in it because she's rich and they want her to be going to acting. So
Yeah, she's a model. I keep
yeah,
wanting to say fashion designer, but that's not what it is.
yeah,
And so we have this 3 friend group. So Mizusaki, I was surprised because I thought she is into anime, but she was very specific on a certain part, and she made this whole speech about like the way people draw, like how realistic should it look, how people do the movements so they can have it as accurate as possible, what sounds go into when you're doing this specific movement, when you're doing the specific action, when you're doing when something is happening that makes noise, and she's talking about the movements and everything, and she's like, I don't want to make anime, I want to make animation. And I said, that's fantastic. She is more into the whole movement of making it that type of thing, while Asatsuka is wanting just the anime part and just wants it to look great, but is also helping how to make everything look, and the designs, drawing concept art as well. And the group just fits so well together.
Yeah, that's what I found really cool about it as well. I thought when you suggested this, I gotta be honest, I was dreading it. I thought I'm not watching it. So I've watched it twice. Watching it, it's one of these shows. There's not a lot of like forward momentum in it, if you know what I mean by that. There isn't a lot that actually happens in the world. Most of the action and stuff, there is action in it, but most of the action that happens is going on inside the imagination of the three girls. So that's why we can't really do a beat for beat review of this, because it wouldn't really make any sense anyway. It looks boring if you lay it out like that, but it isn't boring. It's fun. Like, the good stuff about it is not only do you get hit with this one of the most upbeat and colourful openings I've ever seen in any show ever, with a song that I can't get out of my head, but you also get and I've had to look up that song again on YouTube and I've listened to the full version of it, and I've watched like it live, the performing it live. I think it's Chemical is the name of the rap duo that do it.
Yeah, something like that.
So not only do you get that, but you get like they're actually explaining to you, and it looks like people who have made this show. Obviously, it's people who make anime, right? But the people who have made it have got real love and reverence for anime and how it's made, which is really cool, because they show you like how things work. They talk about things like in between and keyframes and stuff like that, and how you fill in gaps that you can't animate, how you use computer animation to fill bits in, things like that. So it's really cool. I really enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't think I would, but I did.
You definitely feel the passion in this series, and like as soon as the guy, the creator, I believe, I don't know if his name is Science Saru or if he's just the animator for this specific project. But when he was talking about how, hey, I've been wanting to make something, draw by hand, 2D styles, non-digital, less 3D for this project, I was like, I'm looking at this anime and I'm like, it makes so much sense for you to do that. And it's kind of weird, but you're looking at actual sketches the characters are drawing, and you're going with them with the movement of characters they're creating, and you're seeing their process and the beginning and the end, and it makes so much sense on this direction.
Yeah, I don't know much about Science Arrow. I know I haven't really looked into what they've done, but I like this style of animation. This is the kind of style I'm into. I'm assuming this was done with traditional animation cells, which is good.
Yes.
This is what I was looking for, because a lot of the stuff nowadays it's all done with computers, and doesn't feel real to me. I know the kids love it, but
I mean, it's more for them to save money, so I'm glad they went all out with this.
I mean, it's good because it's given me what I wanted, so I'm happy.
Yes. Do you have a favorite character in this series?
It has to be Kanamori, doesn't it?
Yes.
She looks after the pennies. That's what I like. The other two are messing around. You see the other two goofing off all the time, and she's the one that whips everybody into line. When she's telling them all about how long they've got to make a project, and the two of them really want to do what they want to do, but she's telling them there's not enough hours in the day, and she tells Mizusaki you can work 48 hours a day for a week straight. Or she
You're
says
gonna
that
work 365.
24 hours a day for 2 weeks. I think it's something like this. Or you can work 48 hours a day for a week. But it's the same amount of time. So yeah, she's cool, man. I like her.
And it's so funny because a lot of this is relatable for people who want to do animation, be animators, and then for people who want to do the drawing aspect and they are artists. And then there's the more realistic Kanamori side. She's like, okay, but we have this, this, and this. We can't do it with that. We have to do it with this, this, and this, or else we're not gonna make it. You did 4 cuts in a month and we have 36. You're gonna have to speed it up.
That's how it is in the real world, I'm afraid.
But that's why we need her. That's why we need her.
Yeah. Who's your favourite? Do you share my love for
Yes.
Kanamori? Yeah. Everybody.
It's good. It was really hard. I was like, who's my favorite character? I love all of these girls, but like, it's gotta be Kanamori. As soon as I saw her design, I was like, you look great. And of course, she actually is the popular character in this series. Can you believe that?
I can believe that, and I would be shocked if she wasn't. I loved it as well when they went to the ramen restaurant and she pins her hair up with her glasses.
Yeah, I just found that out today. I was like, wait a minute, do you not wear your glasses?
Can you not do that with your hair? Pin it up with your glasses.
I don't know. And I'm actually really liking the layout in this anime. It's like, it seems like, I can't tell if Asatsuka, I can't say she lives in a rich place because they established that they're not rich. The place just looks structurally and aesthetically cool and somewhat futuristic, but it's completely normal.
The place that she lives, or the town? Do you mean
Both. The place she
place?
lives, the town, and then the school she goes to, which, is all digital.
The place she lives looked like it was just a flat or an apartment, as you call it in the States. Just like 1 floor, 1 story, wasn't it? Because she had like, so they moved there at the beginning, didn't they? And it was like, that confused me as well when it started. It was like showing a sequence of it where they were moving to a new town. And I thought, right, we're going to get the typical, this girl moves to a new town and she's new in school and then she meets these people. But it wasn't the case. It was just showing you how she fell in love with anime from the beginning. And when you get to we take a time jump forward, and it's like she's at school. She's been there, or she's not been there, but they've enrolled there, but they've been together for a few years. So those 2 are friends already. And they don't meet the third one. They don't meet Mizusaki until they go to the anime. I think the anime club are doing a presentation, or they're doing like a screening. They're screening this anime club are screening an anime that looks like Astro Boy style, like an old.
Yes, it looks like an 80s anime style, but it's not an 80s animation. And I'm like, this reminds me of something like a Studio Ghibli or older film. And I'm like, it even looks, I was like wondering if it was Astro Boy or something sci-fi related, because it looks too similar.
Yeah, it was giving me Astro Boy vibes. It was giving me sort of 70s vibes. But it wasn't, because I saw the title of it pop up on the screen. I can't actually remember what it is now, but it wasn't any of that. I don't think it's a real thing, but it's animated. Feels like it's animated, like it's something from the 70s. But it looked really cool. A nice contrast to what we've been watching. I also loved how in this cinema, when they go into the cinema to watch the screening, they go to sit down and it's just fucking, extra hero pops up in the middle of the cinema. Did you? But yeah, it's cool. It was cool.
Oh my gosh, I love this so much. So the first 4 episodes, yes, the 4 first episodes is establishing their club. They want to make a club, so Kanamori's like, just do it. But the teacher is like, hey, we already have an anime club, so you can't do that. And she's like, okay, well, during a film club. And they're like, wait, we're not doing film, we want to make anime. They're like, yeah, but you can make an anime film. It can be a type of film. A film can be anything.
This is the brilliance of Kanamori. She's thinking outside the box. She's going 4D chess with him.
Mm-hmm. And even she admits that, once the teacher actually thinks calmly, he'll realize that they don't have a case.
And then trouble.
Because she was saying, the anime club doesn't do actual anime. Their actual name is the Anime Research Club, meaning they're supposed to be researching anime and otaku culture and do like legit research, but they don't do that, which is actually a thing in anime. In anime, every single time somebody makes like an anime club or calls themselves the research club of some kind, they're literally just fooling around, watching anime, playing video games, eating snacks. Like they legit do nothing. I'm glad they're keeping that alive.
The kind of club I want to join. Sounds good.
Yeah. Yes.
So obviously I've seen you watch this with my kid. We watched it today. I promised her I would let her have a 2 minutes to speak about it and let you know what she thought of it. So, do you mind bring her through?
Okay.
Is that okay? Right. Hi, Rosie.
Hi.
So, we watched Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken today.
Yes.
And what did you think?
Time.
For you for the second time, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think of it?
It was good. It's just one of the girls absolutely scared me because I think it was the tall one with the glasses.
She's scary.
Me and Bianca's favourite.
Yeah.
So Kanamori scared you?
Yeah, because she's like in one of them. They go and ask if they can go do the club, and then I think the rich girl says I think it was Aksaska. Yeah, it was Aksaska. She says that they won't let us have another anime club because we already have an anime club. And then the tall one with the glasses says, then I'll either settle it with money or violence.
Yeah. It would be good if you settled it with violence, wouldn't it?
You like hurt people with violence.
You sure do.
And they're in a high school.
Why are you talking about me?
Nah. But they why would they do violence? That they're in high school.
Okay. No violence then, okay?
No violence.
Right. Is there any other parts of it you enjoyed, Rosie?
There is this one part where the rich girl and Asaska, they on the couch they bring in this they brought in this gigantic boat thing, and they put it on, and they both had a little you know how you go canoeing, you have those
You had oars. Yeah.
Yeah, they both had one each, and then they were pretending that they're on a boat.
So that's what you would do if you had a boat in your house, wouldn't you? You'd be playing with it.
No.
Yeah, you would. So I would be Kanamori, and I would be coming in and telling you off instead of getting in your work. That's what happened. Okay, so was there any other parts you liked before I send you to bed?
Yes, there was. When Asaska fell down on her head. When Asaska fell down, usually people, when they fall down, they always ask what they would do. So Asaska, she was talking about the story and the machine thing, and she when she fell right on her head, she still continued with it. And this is also what I do. Whenever I get hurt, or anybody, this is everybody. Some people when they fall, they snap out. They forget what they were saying, and they concentrate about them getting hurt. But Asaska, she was like, I think we need to do with the machine thing. And then Mizusaki, she says she's still carrying on with the anime thing. It was really funny.
Just keep on talking like you non-stop. Yeah.
What?
She just keeps on talking like you non-stop, doesn't she?
Excuse me.
So any other parts you like before we kick you?
On the 6th episode,
Mm.
on the Robot Club, I think it was the last one. I'm not sure. On the last one, where on the when they go in the Robot Club, and remember one of the dudes, the dude with the glasses, got extremely mad because they were doing everything so wrong.
Yes.
That was really funny.
He's like, you can't have it like this. It has to be like this. And I was like, listen, you turd ball, shut your face.
You see the guy with the snot running out of his nose?
What?
He had the snot running down his nose, didn't he?
Yeah.
When he was crying.
Yeah, he was crying and he had snot running out of his nose.
And his hands were like, you know how like some people when they get dirt on their hands, they have a look at it and like their fingers are like crunched. Is what he was doing. It was weird. And the snot coming out of his nose was really gross and funny.
Right, so we're going to watch, me and you will watch the next 6, 7 to 12 next. Yeah? You want to come back on again next time and say what you thought of it? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay,
maybe
you'll be less crunchy next time you come back.
Oh, and just to tell you, you're still glitching.
Yeah, I think that's you. Right.
No, it wasn't me because I put the phone down straight away.
Okay, right, we'll say goodnight to you now, Rosie, okay? Yeah? Okay, right, go to bed. Good night.
Okay, bye.
Night.
She's gone. Good.
Forever.
If only
No. I was speaking about the club. I believe I was talking about how the first 4 episodes is about them making the club and then fighting for the club's existence so they can get funding because the place they were given is like some sort of shed that is like collapsing on itself. Like Rosie said, like when she's explaining the animation, she's kind of like holding the bars while she's explaining, and it's so rusted and tore down that it breaks, and she falls like up to 10 feet, something like that.
What a head, bro.
Yeah, and then Kanamori like videotapes it, and she's like, "Okay, cool, I'm gonna sell it." And
you have shows like that in the States where you film people getting hurt and then send it in and get money.
yeah, I didn't know about that. I was like, you can do that?
Yeah.
And somebody paid 30,000 for it. 30,000 yen, which is around 300.
That's a lot of bucks. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they use that money for funding, obviously without the school's permission, because after she recorded it and after she put it online to be sellable, she was talking to the teacher, and the teacher's like, yeah, okay, as long as you don't, sell it or leave it out there, because we don't want our school to be, in talk of some sort of controversy that we can't take care of our students. And I'm like, well, that's too late. And then she was on national TV. Oh, that was so funny.
Why there was no repercussions from the parents, because they were sitting at the table while it came on TV.
Right?
I don't know.
So something stood out to me in the very first episode, and then now I'm seeing it throughout the series, and I was like, this came out in 2020. It's an original, got a manga after, and I'm like, okay, the anime industry is really starting to do this. And do you possibly get an idea of what I mean?
No, you're going to have to enlighten me, Bianca. I have no idea. I didn't notice anything.
Did you notice how some students looked in the anime?
Well, what I would say is this is. I don't really remember most of the extras.
Background characters?
Yeah, but what I would say is that this is portraying girls like they really are, like they're awkward gremlins in real life. They're not like all pretty. you know, and they don't have the usual anime eyes, and do you know what I mean? So they're trying to make them like real kids, which is cool. I thought that was quite cool. That's why they're more endearing. But I don't know
Oh,
what
I agree on that too. But it was not just that. There were in the I believe fourth episode, when they are talking about their club and talking about funding, there was people on a stand trying to reject their club and reject their funding, and one of the girls stood out.
Okay.
And she was talking the most, and she was explaining. Do you remember what she looked like?
One of the girls on the
Student council.
I know one of them was black.
Yes.
Is that who you meant?
Yes.
Yeah, we don't get many black characters in anime, do we? I mean, if we do, it's usually the stereotypical big, huge bouncer type guy.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I've been telling people for a while that, you know, whether you like it or not, anime and animators making anime, whether original or you know, making something that's from a manga and that kind of stuff, they are wanting to add more diversity into anime. That was the first thing that popped up in the first episode. I like looking at background characters, and I saw a few black people, and I was like, wait, hold up.
See, I didn't notice it because I don't see skin color. I just see people. You know? I honestly didn't notice any. Obviously, aside from extra hero sitting in the auditorium when they were watching the movie, that I noticed that because it's the joke is his hair's in the way, so you know his big afro is in the way. So I noticed that. But to me, it wasn't like it never stood out to me because I didn't really think about it like that. But you're right. This is quite new. I've never seen much like this before. Like I said, aside from the stereotypical big black bouncer guy, you don't get many people of colour, full stop. So yeah, right.
And even in what were they, the Robot Club or the Sci-Fi Club? I think it's the Robot Club.
Yeah, I don't remember which one it was.
So they're after they get the funding from the fourth episode, in the fifth episode, that's when they start to actually get hired by other clubs, like with legit money and everything, to make promotions.
Yeah,
you
so
know, promotions trailers.
The one that hired them is the Robot Club, but I don't remember.
So Rosie was talking about one of the guys with the glasses. The guy who was crying and snot everywhere.
Okay.
He's the only Japanese guy there.
Right. Okay.
In that club. Everybody else was an American or ambiguously brown. I thought it was like two Hispanics over there, but then I saw one of their designs and I said, okay, this guy is probably like East Asian, like a darker colored Asian or African, because apparently like his color is more like possibly Indian or could be Filipino, while one of the girls looked almost like a Hispanic skin tone, but just a little bit lighter, or vice versa, and they could be any. But one of the guys was definitely American. This isn't like, oh, it's just a Japanese person who has like blonde hair, blue eyes, like a Naruto character. But this is an actual legitimate American. And from what I've been seeing, these are most likely, oh gosh, what's it called? People like minorities and foreigners like moving in to Japan.
Oh, Gaijin.
No,
Gaijin.
not specifically Gaijin. I was gonna say immigrants, but like they probably fought for a citizenship and they decided to have kids there. So I believe a lot of these kids are like half Japanese, because one of them in the latest,
right,
because one of them in the latest episode that we saw, episode 6, they're continuing to want to make the robot anime, but they need sound effects. And there's
Yeah.
one person who has like a singular club, and they have 4 occupied rooms of sound effects from like they said like earliest 70s sound effects.
Yeah.
And the person was also black.
This is
And
the Parker character, right? This is the one I thought was a boy, but Rosie said to me, "No, that's a girl."
I also thought it was a boy, but I'm like, oh no! As soon as she spoke, I'm like, okay, that's a girl.
Yeah, Parker Domeki, I think. I don't know. I can't remember how it was pronounced, but this is the.
I don't remember the last name, but I remember the first name was Domeki, which means 3-eyed demon.
Yeah, Domeki
and I'm like,
Parker.
that's pretty cool.
So Parker's the surname. That makes sense then. That makes sense.
So I was like, oh, we got half Japanese people. I'm like, oh, so a lot of these people are probably half Japanese with like foreign parents, black, Hispanic, American, other types of Asian. And I'm like, that's pretty freaking cool.
So it's a melting pot now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is obviously this is quite common now in Japan, I would imagine.
Yeah, a lot of I've been hearing a lot of animators saying that they want to portray the world in Japan, how it's evolving to, and that's adding more whether minority characters who are wanting to live there or people being born into Japan and have a parent who is rather also born into it, into Japan, or also like moving in from another country to Japan. And I said, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's interesting. But a lot of people find it weird. They're like, well, I don't want other people in my anime. And I'm like, but you're fine with the occasional American that pops up that just happens to be white? That's so weird. And of course, they'll have
you hear from Americans, or do you mean Japanese people?
Mostly Americans. They said, well, we have to keep it pure, so just have Japanese people.
Yeah, that's more of the US looking at Japan through sort of rose-tinted glasses about what they imagine it to be. I mean, if they look out their own window, they're not going to see, they're going to see all sorts of colours. So,
but no lie, there are some Japanese people who think this way too.
Oh yeah, of course. Like, let's not sugarcoat it. Japan can be extremely racist at times. There are some animes we can't cover just because of things like that. So,
unfortunately. I mean, even Hunter x Hunter, the way they portrayed a black character, who's like a kid at their age, I believe, the way she looked in the manga was very stereotypical, like back in the day. And I'm like, I understand that, you were drawing back in the day, but you specifically chose them to look like the stereotype from like the 40s or whatever. That makes no sense to me. And then of course she was portrayed that way in the anime, but of course in 2019, when Hunter x Hunter is back from its hiatus, she actually looks normal.
Yeah, I was even talking today about Angel Cop with Rosie. I know I really shouldn't be talking to her about that specific title, but that one as well, that's like there seems to be a real anti-Semitism thing that goes through Japan, and especially at that time when they were really not shy of it. So that's another one we can't even touch because of that. I mean, we may be able to if we get the one that's been edited so that that's all been taken out of it, but it's still it's got them undertones and it's not cool, So, but yeah, the argument that you want your anime pure is a silly argument because the world's not like that anymore. Get with the times, We've got to.
Don't act so old, bro.
Yeah, don't act so old. If I didn't feel so old, I wouldn't.
I've been trying to find this Mizusaki quote for forever on the freaking internet, and I finally found it because I actually found her. I found her quote inspirational, and I'm actually gonna say it. I'm gonna quote it.
Give me a bit of inspiration, then Bianca. Go on.
Yeah. So we have Mizusaki. She's like the rich girl who is a model and is, everywhere for advertisements. So people do recognize her and want to hold her hand and be like, oh my gosh, this was her quote about wanting to be an animator. She says, animation is supposed to be about motion, and the animators are supposed to make things move. And when a professional wants to like pick up a sword, they'll swing it around while they're working.
Yeah.
Which I actually didn't know about. And she was like, what kind of poses happen when you've got a sword on your hip? What does it look like when you unsheath it? How do the wrinkles bunch up when you move in a hakama, which is, the type of wear. That's the type of robes they would wear, and, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
And they work while studying all of those details, not just imagining them.
Well,
being an animator is like being an actor. But you portray more than just people. The movement of dogs and cats, the ocean, the weather, cars, planes, all of that is the animator's acting. I want to draw realistic, lifelike movements with my own hands. I don't just want to make anime, I want to make animation.
Well, she did when they were making their anime to present to the funding board. She even did the things like sliding down the hill and then rolling off at the end. And then when she was doing the swinging the sword things, you can see she was recording that as well, so that she could. I'm assuming they didn't rotoscope it or do any of that tracing over the top, but she used that as reference. So yeah, this is probably what they have to do. And the thing with the canoe as well that Rosie was talking about, I thought they were doing that because they wanted to see how that would look when they were animating it. I don't know whether they were just goofing off or not, or whether they really used it for that. But that's what I imagine they would be doing in animation studios. They would have boats and stuff,
right?
I don't know, because I've never really thought about it before. But this thing is starting to like open my eyes to what they really would be doing in an animation studio. Even the way that they would set the studio up, the things they would have in there. Like I didn't honestly know what the camera looked like until they showed it in the show. They showed the camera like on a big rig with the like zooming function, and they showed like the hard.
You didn't know about the camera?
I don't really look into it before. Never really. At the end of the day, I'm one of these people that just want to see the finished article on the screen, and I'm happy. Unless I'm actually going to create it, I'm not bothered about how it was made. I mean, I'm always interested in how it's made, and I always think it's interesting, but I never really looked into it before. But I thought it was really cool to see that.
How dare you? You're banned.
Well, I'm going to have to look into it. I mean, I think it's one of those ones where you watch it and you kind of think, oh, I'm going to have a go at that now. I'm starting to sound like Tony. You know what I mean? You see it on screen, you think, well, that's how they do it. Oh, I'd like to try that. But it's probably a lot more difficult than I think it is.
You got to get on it. I'm sorry. But even me, like I am aware of those things existing. I'm just really bad at looking at it. Like I'm not really good at looking at it or detecting it. Like I would have to watch it multiple times, which is kind of the reason when the ones that I will say as an example would be Sleeping Beauty. I love watching it multiple times, like up to twice a year, every year. And I love seeing new things about it. Sometimes I'll see like something change in like animation style, or like this particular type of animation was changed. And like a lot of older Disney stuff were rotoscoped,
Yeah.
and then they had a fashion designer to make the clothes the way they wanted so they can reflect that into the drawing.
Yeah, you could even see them using the same actor for different animations as well. They were using them for different movies. I think I saw one like The Jungle Book and something else. Maybe it might have been Snow White and The Jungle Book were both used the same character models.
Yes, I believe the Robin Hood one.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
believe I don't remember if they used the same dance from Beauty and the Beast or Snow White, but one of the dances were the same. I believe it was Snow White.
Yeah.
I'm personally enjoying this anime.
Yeah, I am. Listen, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I didn't think I would, but it's
Wow.
really, and Rosie's given me a thumbs up and says she loves it too. So yeah, we're really enjoying it. We'll probably I think we're going to watch the next 6 all back to back. I think we're going to just go all the way through it.
I was actually kind of worried because I've never seen it, and while I was watching it, I'm like, is Rosie gonna enjoy this? I didn't realize it was like this.
You didn't
Like,
care if I
you're-
enjoyed it, you just cared if Rosie enjoyed it. Thank you.
Because I was like, are they explaining too much? Is it too hard? Does it look fun? Does it look fun enough? Will she like the characters?
I think it's even though there's not a lot of action in it, like aside from the imagination action, I think the imagination action is enough for a kid. Because
I love the imagination action every episode.
Stuff that's so out of the ordinary of what they would be able to do in that world. I think that's why kids do like it. But even me looking at it, like I know what is going on in the story is not really like world, like it's not like really world ending impactful. But for kids, it must be brilliant just to watch it, to watch the stuff from the page go onto the screen. And then the kids are probably, like kids watching it, are probably want to do the same thing. This is probably going to get a lot of kids into animating, I think. And hopefully the traditional way, like the way that they do it in the show, with a little bit of help from tech. But yeah, I think it's a great advert for animation. It's awesome.
I do also like the verbal sound effects. Like when something's happening, they're like ticka 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 woo woo.
Oh yeah, well they're doing during the imagination moments. And then they've got that really weird like soundtrack to it as well. There's like a really strange like score throughout it as well. Do you know when they're doing those, especially those parts? I can't even, because there's not really a tune to it. It just sounds like a load of instruments like making a lot of noise. If you know what I mean. Obviously, much like the intro tune, we can't play it because of copyright reasons. But like, there's a really cool little like sort of jingle that goes on every time the imagination segments are on. I think it's really cool. So yeah, I'm loving it. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Can't wait to get back to it. But I'm not going to have time now. I'm going to have to wait a few weeks.
I'm sorry.
So anything else about 1-6 we want to go over before we talk about the future, Bianca? Need to say.
I think we're done.
Yeah, I would highly encourage everybody to go watch it. We haven't went through it beat for beat, and we're not going to go through the 7 to 12 beat for beat either, because like I said, it doesn't lend itself to that kind of reviewing. Just watch it. It's great. Watch it with your kids if you've got kids. Watch it with young people, because it's a fantastic thing for them to watch as well. I think it's great. But speaking of the future, so after I was going to say next week. It's not next week. I'm probably looking at doing the next one in 4 weeks' time again. Once we've done that, we throw we open the floor to the viewers, and we've got the viewers' choice poll going at the moment. Let me bring it up here. So this is what we've got so far. The choices we've got was Record of Lotus War, Paranoia Agent, Sailor Moon, Yu Yu Hakusho, which I've never heard of, and Death Note. At the minute, Death Note's ahead with 30%. You can see what I've voted for. I want to watch Lotus War. It interests me. I don't know which one you voted for, Bianca. I don't know whether
Obviously, the first one.
You want to watch Lotus War as well. So, yeah, as it stands, it's going to be Death Note. So, once we get the next episode of Anime Hour done, we will then move on to the viewer's choice poll. You still have time to go and vote in this poll.
We do? I thought polls had like only a small amount of time.
No, I think this is still going. I'm sure it is. I mean, I can change my vote now if I wanted to, but I strongly encourage everyone out there to go and vote. If there's something on there you want to vote for, please go and vote for it, because I don't want to watch Death Note.
I don't want to watch Death Note again. But if it ends up winning, I'm obviously not watching it again. You, on the other hand, you have to watch it.
But I know what it's about, and I don't want to watch it. But if it wins, it wins. Unlike the United States, the decision is final. There will be no meddling. There will be no what do they call that machine? I can't remember the name of it. The machine that can change votes that you've got in America over there. I don't know politics, please. Forget that.
What? We have a machine that changes votes?
Apparently, no politics, please. Anyway, so at the moment, Lotus War is behind by 3 percentage points. We need to get that up because we want to watch that. Don't particularly want to watch any of the other 3.
Why? Who picked all of...
The names
Why did you guys pick all the long animes, guys?
The names of who picked them up next to them.
Like Paranora Agent, I can understand. I heard that one is that one is not kid friendly, by the way.
Oh, but I haven't seen any of them. But Lotus War is the one I want to watch because I've seen what it's about and I like the look of it. So,
you never seen? Let's see. I seen the original Sailor Moons, almost all of the movies. I don't hate them. But I have been enjoying the 2014 reboot a lot more. I just never finished them.
Well, there's tons of them, right? So it's hard to finish. But it's the same with Death Note. Death Note's got a lot of episodes, so we would only have to cover.
It's only 37. Sailor Moon has like 6 seasons.
Yeah. But
wait, is it 37 episodes? Something like that. At least there was a couple of arcs that I actually enjoyed.
37 or otherwise, we're probably only going to cover 12. I don't think we're going to go through the whole series. We may just... I don't even know if I've got time to watch all of them, but if I did, I would probably just do a quick overview of the entire series. I wouldn't be going through it beat for beat.
Out of all the anime recommendations, why did you guys choose long ones? Please tell me.
You want the reason why? Ask your good friend Nerdette, because she chose Death Note. But hey, if it wins, it wins. We'll...
I hate you, Tristan. Why'd you do this to me? Death Note sucks.
I mean, you've seen it and you're saying that, so we're in trouble, aren't we? Anyway, we will.
You are.
We'll come back when we do the next anime hour. We'll come in probably in 4 weeks' time. We'll come back. We'll have a look at where the final results stand, and then we will end the poll that day. Whatever wins, everybody has to go watch it, and then we'll come back here and we'll say what we thought. So,
sure.
That's how we're doing it. We'll get rid of that. So, take us home, Bianca. We've been here for an hour. Let's go.
Yay. All right, guys. Thank you for joining in for our I can speak English, for our Anime Power Hour. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, leave a comment, say how much Death Note sucks and agree with us. Cool. I promise you'll get a like on your comment if you do. And what?
I never say like and comment. See, that's why I'm not a pro B like you.
I'll like your comment if you do. When you say like, it's me.
Not only to Tony, but subscribe to Bianca and also subscribe to me because I'm now at 101 subscribers. And I'm so happy.
Woo.
Anyway, let's get out of here.
All right. Have a nice day, guys. Bye.
Bye.